Okay, so let's set this aside for a moment. And the pieces you will need for the inside front cover are, your A piece is 5 1/4 by 6 1/8. Your B piece is 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. Your C piece, 7 inches by 10 7/8. And your D piece is 7 5/8 by 7 3/4, or whichever way. All right, get your scoreboard out. Score piece A. A will be scored at 1/2 and at 5/8 on the 5 1/4 inch side. So 1/2 and 5/8. So we've got a little gusset there. Okay, your B piece will be scored at 1/2 and 5/8, but this time on the 6 3/4 inch side. Your C piece will be scored at 1/2 on the 7 inch side. And your D piece will be scored at 1/2 and 5/8 on the 7 5/8 side. So 1/2 and 5/8. Okay, perfect. Add your score tape, miter your corners, all that jazz. Okay. Okay, get those biddies out of the way. Fold and crease your score lines, and then bring back your cover. Alright, your A piece will be going on the bottom right so that it opens down. Okay, so it's going bottom right. So that it opens down like that. Make sure that this is not interfered with. That can still fold up nicely. Your B piece is going to be going on the bottom left-hand side, so right over here, opening to the left. And it should line up with the top of A there. Okay, so that's your B. Now open these both up, and your C piece is going to go on the left-hand side. Just like that. Okay, and then your D is going to go at the top, and it's going to fold over all the rest of the pieces. Okay, so it's going to go right at the top. Mine is a smidge long. I've I'm gonna trim off a little bit here. That's better. Sorry, my head might have gotten in the way there, but okay. All closes up like that. And now I will get my pieces of pattern paper ready for that part, and we will decorate it. Okay, so for the inside front cover, I want to do 2 swing tabs, one here and one here. Yep. So I've already, these are a couple stickers from a collection. I put a magnet right here, backed it with some cardstock. It's on chipboard. So I'm going to go through our regular process of adding a swing tab. So right about there, I'm going to make a little mark, make sure it can swing out of the way. It can. Excellent, so there's my mark. So now I'm going to get all this open and punch my hole. So this is the only piece of paper I've got down so far, this orange piece. Okay, so I'm punching my hole here. Oops. Okay, so I'm just going to let a magnet adhere, or not adhere, but just find its counterpart. I'm going to put a little piece of score tape on top of it. So, I mean, I find it easier to get the magnet in place before you actually put the brad through the paper, because then it's hard to like get the score tape backing off and everything. So this is, I do it this way, but I mean, it's up to you, kind of like however, whatever your process is, whatever is easiest for you, do that. So there is my magnet on now. So now I can put it through this hole. Okay, and perfect. So that's a magnetized swing tab there. Okay, so now we can put this piece of paper on. I'm going with the blue here. Okay, let's get this on. Awesome, and now we're going to figure out where we need the swing tab for here. Okay, so get our other swing tab. I haven't put a magnet on this one yet, so let's do that. Okay, so it's going to sit like that, so we want the magnet up here. And again, if you don't want to use swing tabs, that's totally fine. You can just do magnets or some other form of closure. Okay, so I've got my magnet on there. I'm going to add some adhesive here and then back it with cardstock to hide that magnet. So I just got a scrap piece of cardstock here. Always keep all of your scraps. The scraps can be used for so many things. I've got a big pile of scraps that I just like grab at all the time. Okay, fabulous. Now, let another magnet find its counterpart. Punch a little hole. Where's my crocodile? Don't know why I just sang crocodile. Anyway, okay, so now let's figure out where we would like this one. Right about somewhere like that. Make a little mark. Punch a hole. Oh, I keep losing everything. There it is. There's my pokey. Where was it? Right here. Okay, so there's a hole punched. Now, put some score tape on the back here. Remove, oh sorry. There we go. Okay, now let's close this up the way it's supposed to be. Like this. Now we will try to see our hole through this hole. To adhere that magnet, and then once it's adhered, then we can put our brad in and put this through the hole. Okay, there we go. There's the second one attached. So it goes like that. Alright, so now we can add the rest of our pattern paper. I'm going to do that here. Awesome. And then open it up. So I'm wanting this, oh, what's happening? Hang on, I'm having technical difficulties. Give me a minute. Okay, so just a recap of the papers that we have on the inside front cover. Okay, so you can pause it anytime if you need to. Okay, so got the signature kind of paper from the 8x8 pad there. Blue and orange. Sorry, this one's hard to see. That's the same pattern paper. And then on the inside, the blue and the stripes. Okay, so that's all there is to that. And now we're just going to set this aside for a moment. And we're going to get our pieces for the back cover. Okay, so back cover is really simple. Your A piece is, so this is the only time that you're going to need, you're going to need 2 pieces of 12 by 12 because this particular page needs a couple larger pieces, so you will need a couple 12 by 12 pieces. So this piece A measures 6.5 by 11 1/4. Your B piece is 4 3/4 by 11 3/4. and 2 C pieces that measure 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, so get your scoreboard out. And piece A is going to be scored at half on the 11 1/4 inch side. Okay, your B piece will be scored at half on the 4 3/4 inch side. And then you're going to rotate it 90 degrees or a quarter turn, whatever, however you feel better about it, and score again at half and 11 1/4, and of course this is going to be a pocket. And then your 2 C pieces will be scored at half on the 6 3/4 inch side. Okay, so get rid of that. Let's add our score tape. Okay, and then we will miter our corners and fold and crease. Okay, get the biddies out of the way. Let's bring back our cover section. Okay, so your A piece is going to adhere to the top left of the base page. Okay, so just right there. Okay, your B piece, so we're going to fold in. This is going to be a pocket, and it is going to adhere to the right side of the base page. However, so it's going to go right here. Okay, but we need to hold off on putting that on because our closure is going to be, it's going to be an elastic going from the back around to this side. So when we close it, it's going to be an elastic here, coming from here to here, which means that we are going to have a hole right here, and we're going to be needing to work with this space open. So we can't adhere the pocket quite yet because we need access to this area as we're finishing our cover. Okay, so we're just going to set the pocket here for now. We're not actually going to adhere it, but we can adhere our C pieces. They are going to go on the top and the bottom of our pocket. Okay, so they're going to go at the top here and the bottom. All right. Perfect. So you can add a magnet to these pieces here, and then we can also add a magnet. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a magnet. I'm going to do two actually, one here and one here. Okay, so first let's add a magnet here. So okay, so that is locking those together, and then I'm just going to kind of place this where I want it, and then this is going to go over. Perfect. So I'm just going to add a couple magnets to the top portion of A. Bring this down so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just putting two magnets here and here. Fantastic. So make sure your pocket's where you're going to want it to be. Oh wait, don't in here yet. Oh shoot. Okay, so now that is magnetized down there, so we'll know exactly where we want our pocket. So now I'm just going to get my pieces of pattern paper, and we can put most of them down, and then we can start, we'll get the expandable binding and stuff after that. So let's get our pieces for this first. Okay, so for the pattern paper on the back cover, sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't recording. It had run out of room on my memory card and it didn't beep at me, so I put almost all of it on. However, it's not that much, so you can just follow this, pause it if you need to. So just to match our last page of the album, so going with the blues and the stripes and all that. So yeah, that's what I've got on the front. I've got that balloon paper on the back there, polka dots here, the pocket's still not down, so the blue there, and then the butterflies and more of that balloon paper. Okay, so I will leave that for now and move this out of the way, and we will create our binding. Okay, so you need a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. Okay, so you need to cut it at 11 3/4 by 10. Okay, so 11 3/4 by 10 inches. Okay, and then get your scoreboard. And we are going to score it. Put it in on the 11 3/4 inch side, okay, and you are going to score at 1.5, 2 3/4, 4, 7 3/4, 9, and 10 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to score again at 2 1/8, 3 3/8, 8 3/8, and 9 5/8. Okay, all of those measurements the score lines are all also written in the PDF. So if you need to recap those. Now you want to cut a piece of Tyvek the same size. You want to back this with Tyvek because this is going to be getting a lot of use. So we'll cut a piece of Tyvek the same size and put it on the back, and then we will fold and crease it. Okay, so I'm just getting the score tape off the back of my piece of Tyvek. And I'm going to adhere it. Awesome. Okay, so now we are going to fold following that Valley Mountain rule. So if it's a valley, it goes back, and I'm going to crease it really well if I can find my bone folder. There it is. Okay, so that one goes back, and then this one. So we're basically going to make an accordion. Accordioning? We're accordioning them. We're making an accordion. So back and forth. Okay, and then the other side. Okay, so keep working with this and kind of keep creasing it. The more creased it is, the better it's going to sit, and it's going to go so this is going to sit right here in the center. Okay, and then your pages are going to sit. They're all going to glue onto it, so they're all going to sit like that. Alright, so in the next video we're going to put our pages in and decorate our cover. Alright, so I'll be back to do that.